Hi, welcome to RCKicks. On today's show, well, we've got breaking news coming out of Kyosho. Yes, it's all kind of rushing out a bit earlier than they anticipated, but yeah, that's the Kyosho Toms, the Turbo Optima Mid Special. Now, this is the one that everybody has been trying to collect for a long time. Why? Well, back in the day when it came out, not only was it the top of the range Optima Mid, but it also was very successful on the track, and it was a limited production run in the first place, and only 2 kits went to each shop. So there's not that many of them around, and what is around was actually used because this was a dedicated race buggy, not a shelf queen. Not that there was such a thing back then. So all of them had a very hard life, and there wasn't many left. So today they demand big money. There's actually one in Japan, new in box, and you don't want to know how much they're asking for that. Well, after today, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that much. So let me tell you a bit more about it. Now, it went on to win the 1988 Euros. It was a strange one because when it came, you opened the box, the actual chassis was kind of half built. Also, it come with 2 sets of tyres and rims, and different tyres for different surfaces. It come with ball diffs. It had a carbon lower chassis, and I'm not sure if the top was FRP. Also come with anti-roll bars front and rear, and it was basically an all singing, all dancing one. Then they went and produced, it was so successful, and being that that was a limited production run, they actually went on and produced another version, which is that kind of cockpit version that I used to have that someone bought off me because they made me an offer I couldn't refuse, but such a shame. Wish I'd have kept it. Anyway, also I did have a Toms in the collection, but again, someone made me an offer I couldn't refuse, so that went off to America. I did always have my fingers crossed that we would see this re-release so I could add it to the collection, and now that day's come. Thankfully, I can add one back to my collection. So what do we know about the new version? Well, it's kit 10623. And though the first thing you want to know is when is it and how much is it? Price point is going to be around the £450. So I'm guessing $450-ish. As for when it's coming out, very soon. I think it's not going to be 6 months. It's going to be within the next couple of months. So you better get saving. But also, if you've put a deposit down on the RC10 Brian Kimwald edition, you're going to have to scrape up a bit more money because these big hitting kits are, yeah, they're so desirable. And once they're gone, I'm pretty sure they're going to be gone. This kit, as far as I know, is not limited edition like the original one. But I don't know, sometimes with Kyosho, the kits come and then they go, and then sometimes they're around for a long time. So for me personally, I'm just going to grab one, and then if it's still available in a year's time, I don't really care, to be honest with you. But if it disappears, I'll be kicking myself. So somehow, I've got to sell a well-used kidney. Another thing that was really good, looking at the images of it, and the images have just dropped in the last hour or so, is it has the thin front tires. Now the rims look to be very close to the original. Not sure if they're the same yellow. In pictures that I've just tried to look up, they look a bit sort of acid yellow versus the yellow ones of the vintage one, but that could just be the photographs. But the actual design looks to be bang on. Thinner on the front, fatter on the rear. Also, if you wanted to do the square block ones, not the kind of modern ones that they're releasing, that they seem to have put on all of their cars, you will be able to pick them up. Marwan RC do sell replicas, which is what I've got up here on my JJ. But they don't do the front thin ones. Hopefully now, Marwan, this is going to be enough to justify investing the cost to do the thinner fronts so we can make it look like the vintage one with the correct tyres. The chassis in this kit is the same. It's carbon on the bottom and then FRP or glass, whatever, on the top, not sure. But I'm pretty sure Kyosho will probably do a top deck in carbon as an option. And I'm sure a load of aftermarket companies will also do a top deck in carbon as well. But that is more faithful to the original, so that's why. Obviously trying to keep the cost down as well, so I can see why they didn't do a carbon top deck, because if they did it, the price would be slightly higher and it wouldn't be in keeping with the vintage original anyway, which some of the die-hard fans wouldn't like. So I can understand that. That makes total sense. It has got the hard rear wing, which is obviously very different to the original one, but again, you can easily get hold of body sets for it. So if you wanted to put the correct wing on it, they're available in the aftermarket space, be that Team Blue Groove or Marwan themselves, they also do it. So you could put the correct wing on if you wanted to. Sorry to interrupt your viewing pleasure. Would you like to give me the chance to win one of these, an RC10 4-wheel drive new in box for less than the price of a coffee? Well, now's your chance, because I'm raffling off one of these. Comes with free worldwide shipping to your door. So what are you waiting for? Actually, watch the video and then go to the link in the description, or just Google Raffle's RCKicks. Anyway, like the original, it comes with universal drive shafts. It has got threaded shocks, which obviously is what we've seen in a lot of their re-releases versus the original ones which just had the collars. So obviously if you're trying to make it look like a vintage one, that's something you're going to have to change out yourself. But they've very much done to the Toms what they do to all their cars. They bring them up a little bit, make them a bit more modern. You've got the threaded collars on the shocks, and the tires are more kind of a modern example. So it's not a total replica, it's just what you've seen them do in other previous releases. The actual battery that you're going to be able to put in it is basically the Tamiya shape, so you can put a 2S LiPo in it, because the original one was saddle packs. So I was kind of interested to see whether they would go for put the shorty LiPo pack on the side, do it that way, and the electronics on the other side. But in the images, they've actually got a 2S Tamiya style rollover battery, so you can run LiPo in this as well. Whether there's a way to actually change it to be shorty, because I know a lot of people that are going to be wanting to race this will rather run a shorty LiPo battery instead of the long thin ones. I'm sure there'll be some modifications coming out that you'll be able to do that. Hex hardware all the way through. No anti-roll bars. On the original one, you've got anti-roll bars on the front and rear. In this one, well, in the images only, in the images, there's none. So this is going to be an option that you're going to have to add down the line. As for the extra tyres, no, I don't think so at all. There's no pictures of the actual inside of the box being released by Kyosho, so that leaves a couple of questions, but I'm pretty sure, being that they put the modern tyres on it, you're just going to get one set. But the modern front tyres are obviously new because they're thinner. I don't think they put those on anything else, so be that what it is. Other thing is the blister pack layout, whether it will be the same kind of thing that we saw from the Toms in the vintage one. Whether the chassis is going to be half built, pretty sure it won't be, but I'm totally guessing. We just have to wait and see what comes out from the photos. Also, the car comes with the chassis protector. It's not just open like this one. They actually supply it so you can protect that very expensive, lovely carbon underside, and they're just so much better, especially if you're going to be taking this vintage racing. So I'm pretty sure we're going to start to see a lot of these at vintage races really soon, which is excellent. And the timing couldn't be perfect, as basically they've just dropped a total bomb right at the time where Team Associated has dropped a massive kit with the Brian Kimwald. So what are you going to do? Get both? Sell a kidney? Which one are you going to buy? Comment below, let me know. As for Tamiya, it's not looking very good this year, as the competition is growing in this market, and some of these kits are just epic. Anyway, thanks so much. Please like and subscribe. Keep you posted, and I'll get one on the show as soon as I've sold my kidney.